You know how we hear about AI everywhere we turn, but it still feels like this big mysterious thing? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into how AI is actually already part of your life, like in ways you might not even realize.
Yeah, AI has definitely moved past just being a buzzword.
Right. It's not just some far-off future tech anymore. And that's what we're going to explore today.
Hmm.
How AI is making the content you see every day, how it's being used in elections, and not just for those creepy deepfakes,
Yeah.
and how AI is becoming something you can shape and personalize. Like, how cool is that?
Super cool. We'll be looking at how AI is impacting your experiences, not just the tech behind it.
Exactly. So first up, get ready to have your mind blown a little.
Yeah.
AI could be the secret sauce behind some of those viral TikToks and YouTube videos you're watching.
You're not kidding. There are all these AI tools now that are analyzing trends, figuring out what makes stuff go viral.
Whoa, so it's like AI is whispering in the creator's ears like, this joke's gonna kill, or
Yeah.
this type of video is hot right now.
Kinda, yeah. It's almost like a recipe for online success. Makes you see those videos a little differently, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's not just about writing scripts. AI is shaking things up in the design world too. You heard of Runway's Act 1?
Oh yeah, Act One's pretty wild.
It can take a single video and boom, turn it into an animated character. Gives it all kinds of expressions and everything. Then there's Ideogram. That one actually designs things based on, get this, text prompts.
It's nuts how fast AI design tools are developing. Like, design is getting faster, cheaper, more accessible. But
There's a but coming, I can feel it.
but what does it mean for, like, human creativity? If AI can pump out any design you can imagine, where does that leave us?
Big question.
Huge. And then there's the ethical side of things. Copyright, for example. If AI can copy an artist's style, who owns that?
True, true. Makes you think twice about that eye-catching graphic you saw online. Was it a person behind it, or was it an algorithm?
Exactly. And where's the line between human creativity and machine creativity?
Yeah, that line's getting blurrier by the day.
For sure. And speaking of blurry lines, another place where AI's impact is being felt, and where you've probably already seen it, is in elections.
I was going to say, everyone's talking about deepfakes. Like, those AI-generated calls from politicians are straight up unsettling.
Deepfakes are definitely a concern. I mean, they erode trust, make you question everything you see and hear.
Give on.
But deepfakes are only one piece of the AI in elections puzzle. Campaigns are using AI in tons of other ways, too.
Like what?
Like analyzing massive amounts of voter data, predicting how people will vote,
Based on what?
all sorts of factors. And then they use that to tailor messages, like down to the individual level.
So they're, targeting us without us even realizing it.
Potentially, yeah. It's really sophisticated stuff. A little scary, honestly.
Okay, so is there anything being done about this? Because this sounds kind of, well, dystopian.
Yeah, no, it's a valid concern, but there are people working on solutions like regulations to make sure AI-generated content has to be disclosed.
So we know what's real and what's not.
Exactly. And software that can detect deepfakes. And public education campaigns to help us spot manipulation.
Okay, so be aware of what we're seeing and hearing during elections.
You got it. Question your sources. Think critically if the messaging seems a little too personalized.
Don't take anything at face value.
Right. Good habits to have in general, but especially during election season. So, ready for something a little more upbeat.
Yeah, bring on the good news. What you got?
Get this, we're not just using AI anymore. We're starting to shape it ourselves.
Whoa, 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 back up. Shape it ourselves? What does that even mean?
It means personalized AI. Imagine an AI assistant that knows your communication style and writes emails that sound just like you. Or an AI that manages your home, but based on your specific preferences.
That's like having a digital twin. Wait, is this real or is this sci-fi?
It's becoming more and more real every day.
How? How is that even possible?
Platforms like Google's Maker Suite, for example, and OpenAI's customization tools, they're putting the power of AI development into regular people's hands.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. But so, what could people actually do with this?
Anything, really. Small businesses could use it to personalize marketing campaigns, create super targeted product recommendations. Educators could personalize lesson plans for each student.
Whoa, individualized lessons. That's next level. And artists.
Artists could use AI to generate new music, create unique visual styles. The possibilities are endless.
So that's not just one-size-fits-all AI anymore.
Nope. It's about creating AI that's tailored to your specific needs.
I love that. But isn't AI development, super complicated and expensive?
Not necessarily. There are API credits, tons of online resources, the open source movement. It's getting easier and more affordable all the time.
So the barriers to entry are coming down.
They really are. AI is becoming more democratic,
Yeah.
putting powerful tech into the hands of anyone who's curious and has a good idea.
Man, this is a lot to process. But the main takeaway for me is that AI isn't some distant tech anymore. It's here, it's now, and it's affecting our lives in so many ways.
Exactly. And we're only at the beginning. AI is changing so rapidly that it's almost impossible to predict where it'll take us next.
Mind-blowing is an understatement. We're
Yeah.
like right in the middle of a technological revolution.
We are. And as AI becomes more personalized, more powerful, it raises some really important questions about responsibility.
Like, what do we do to make sure AI is used ethically?
Yeah, and that it benefits society as a whole, doesn't make existing inequalities worse, or create new ones.
Those are huge questions.
Hmm.
I feel like we're all kind of becoming stakeholders in the future of AI, whether we realize it or not.
You hit the nail on the head. We need to have these open, honest conversations about AI's potential, both the good and the bad.
Think critically about how we want AI to develop.
And make sure it reflects our values.
Well, this deep dive has been a lot, in a good way. I had no idea just how much AI was already a part of our lives.
Same here. It's a wild ride, for sure. But we've only scratched the surface, remember that.
Meaning?
Meaning there's a whole universe of AI out there to explore. And it's changing all the time.
So what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listener with today?
As you go about your day, I want you to pay attention to the subtle ways AI is already influencing your life.
Like what? Give us some examples.
The recommendations you see online, those are probably driven by AI. The smart devices you use, AI is behind those too. It's everywhere.
It really is, isn't it?
And remember, you're not just along for the ride. You can help shape the future of AI. Stay curious, stay engaged, stay informed.
Okay, I'm officially inspired. And to our listener, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. It's only just begun,
The future's being written right now.
and AI is a big part of the story. Until next time, stay curious. Okay, so we've talked about how AI is being used, kind of behind the scenes, but the idea of actually shaping AI, that's like, whoa, it's powerful.
It is powerful, and that's where personalized AI comes in.
Personalized AI. Okay, break that down for me.
So it's not just about AI that can write an email that sounds like you. It's about AI that understands how you work, your preferences, heck, even your sense of humor.
So it's almost like having a digital extension of yourself right there working alongside you. I can see how that would be huge for small businesses, even educators, artists too, probably. Anyone who needs a solution that's like super tailored to them, not just some off-the-shelf thing.
Exactly. Imagine a small business owner, right? They could use AI to really personalize their marketing, like target each customer with exactly the right message, or create product recommendations that are spot on.
And what about customer service? Could AI handle that too?
Oh, absolutely. And in a way that feels genuine, like you're talking to a real person, not a robot.
Wow, that would free up so much time for the business owner to focus on, the bigger picture stuff.
Totally. And then think about educators. AI could personalize lesson plans for each student. Imagine that.
Individualized lessons.
Yeah.
That's next level. Each kid getting exactly what they need. What about for artists? How could personalized AI help them?
Oh, the possibilities are endless there. AI could help generate new music, come up with totally unique visual art styles.
Even help write stories.
Right.
It's like having this creative partner who's always there, ready to brainstorm.
It's true. And the best part is, this kind of AI, it's not just for, the big tech companies anymore.
So regular people can actually get their hands on this stuff.
They can. There are tools and resources that are making AI development accessible to pretty much anyone. We talked about Google's Maker Suite and OpenAI's customization tools, but there's a ton more out there too.
Like what? What else is there?
You've got online resources, open source projects, even things like API credits that let people experiment and build their own AI solutions.
The barriers are really coming down.
Yeah, AI is becoming more democratic, putting power in the hands of the people.
I love that. So we've talked about AI that's personalized, AI that's more accessible. Where does all this lead us?
That's the big question, isn't it? We're talking about a major technological shift, a revolution even.
It's kind of overwhelming when you think about it, but also exciting. Like we're right here witnessing the future being built.
We are. But with all this change, all this potential, we have to ask ourselves some tough questions too.
Like about responsibility.
Exactly. How do we make sure that AI is used ethically? That it benefits society as a whole?
And how do we make sure it doesn't just, like, make things worse.
Hmm.
The inequalities that already exist, or even create new ones.
Those are the things we have to be thinking about right now because this technology, it's moving fast.
Too fast, maybe?
Possibly. But I think the key is that we don't just stand back and watch it happen. We need to be part of the conversation.
So we can help guide it in the right direction.
Exactly.
Man, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by all this. Like, I need to go for a walk and just unplug for a bit.
I hear you. Sometimes a little digital detox is exactly what we need, just to clear the head and reconnect with, the real world.
Okay, well, before we go do that, any parting words for our listener?
As you're going about your day to day, try to notice the ways that AI is already present in your life.
Like, what kinds of things? Give us some examples.
Think about those recommendations you see online or the smart devices you use. AI is behind all that stuff.
It's kind of freaky when you realize how much AI is already out there.
It is, but it's also pretty cool when you think about the potential. And remember, you're not just a bystander in all of this. You have a voice, you have choices. You can be a part of shaping the future of AI.
Wow. Okay, that's inspiring. And on that note, we're going to sign off for today.
Until next time, stay curious.
I think what's really hitting me is just how fast this stuff is all changing. AI is evolving so quickly. Who knows what the world's going to look like in 5, 10 years?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's exciting, but also kind of makes you nervous, right?
A little bit, yeah. Like, are we in control here, or is the tech kind of taking over?
That's a good question. It makes me think of this quote. I can't remember who said it, but it's something like, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. And I think that applies to AI big time.
Totally. We're not just sitting around waiting to see what happens.
Right?
It can actually shape how AI develops.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to have these conversations about AI, to really think it through.
And these deep dives, they're part of that, right? They
Yeah,
help people understand what AI actually is, what it can do.
for sure. And separate fact from fiction, all the hype, because there's a lot of hype out there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, big picture, what's the most important thing you want our listeners to take away from this whole conversation?
That's a good question. I think the main thing is that AI, it's not good or bad in itself.
It's a tool.
Right, exactly. Like a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use it to, cause some damage.
Oh, so it all comes down to us. We're the ones making the choices about how AI is used.
Yep. That's a lot of responsibility, but it's also a huge opportunity. We have the chance to shape this technology, to guide its development.
To make sure it reflects, our values, our hopes for the future.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know about you, but my brain is officially full. I think I need a break from all this tech talk.
Me too. Time to unplug, reconnect with the real world.
Exactly. But before we do that, what's one final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
Just this. Remember that you're not just a passive observer in all of this. The future of AI, it's not predetermined. It's being written right now. And you can be part of writing that story.
Powerful stuff. And to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. We hope you learned something new, maybe even got a little inspired.
The future is full of possibilities.
So stay curious.